Chapter 243. Lamech's amazement at the splendour of the temple. His inability to comprehend. The spiritual correspondence of the temple structure. Enoch speaks on the need for the high priest of the temple to be taught by God. 31st January 1843. Following Enoch's words, all gave honour to God in their hearts, and left the temple. And Lamech locked the same. Only now did Lamech begin to thoroughly look at the structure of the temple, and seeing its splendour from all sides, he again rejoiced and praised God, who had endowed man with the insight to achieve something of such awe-inspiring sublimity and splendour. But Enoch, taking Lamech by the hand, said to him, "Beloved brother Lamech, as I well notice, you are extraordinarily impressed by the splendour of this temple. Do you also understand this temple and its structure? You tell me in your heart, 'No, brother, how should I understand this?' Good, say I to you. You are now honest and of an open heart. Therefore, you had to admit this. But look a little deeper, and you will find in the proper depth of your heart what is written there in glowing letters. You, a high priest in the Lord's sanctuary, must recognize in the spirit of truth the work over which the Lord has placed you. Otherwise, you are a blind blasphemer in the same. Woe betide you if you want to teach your brother something you do not understand. For the Lord speaks, 'Then I will chastise the master and the disciple, and will look neither at the one nor the other.' Lamech, do you comprehend this? Behold, whoever wants to speak about God and his works, and instruct his brother therein, must first himself have learnt it from God. Why? Because no one knows God and his works, but alone God. All this is now still strange to you, and you do not know how God teaches and draws men. But I tell you, even today, before darkness falls, you will come to know the first elements, and so on, until you will be a perfect scholar of God. Here Lamech was again mightily taken aback, and asked Enoch eagerly, 'Brother Enoch, what things are you talking to me which my heart is not capable of understanding? I entreat you and tell you, explain this comprehensibly, or your speech is of no use to me. You said before, woe betide the teacher who tries to teach his brother what he himself does not understand. What shall I say if you talk before me about things more alien to me than the end of the world, provided it exists? Here Enoch again began to speak and said to Lamech, 'Brother Lamech, do not get excited in vain. For, if the pupil knew in advance what he was only to learn from his teacher, tell me, would not a teacher be the most dispensable being of the world? But this is the great difference between the teacher and the pupil, namely, that no pupil is in the beginning as perfect as his teacher. However, once he is like his teacher, he is perfect, and there is then no longer a difference between teacher and pupil. Behold, the Lord sent me down from the height as a preliminary teacher. Hence you have to listen to me. How foolishly a teacher would proceed if he first gave his pupil an explanation and a full analysis of the subject prior to showing him the very subject to be discussed. Behold, I have now given you first the raw subject in accordance with the divine order. Thus I am a true teacher according to God's order. So do not get excited before the time. Since I gave you the subject, I shall also give you the explanation. But everything requires its time and patience. In your house you shall learn many a thing, and so let us go there. Amen.